Welcome to our executive interview series at the Elastic Public Sector Summit presented by FedScoop. I'm Billy Mitchell and I'm here with Sean MacKirdy, Area Vice President for DoD Sales at Elastic. Sean, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'd like to start by asking, what advantages do powerful search, AI, and observability capabilities provide for agencies looking to effectively close cybersecurity skills gaps?
I think the most important advantage is being able to combine an organization's internal documentation and knowledge with external documentation and knowledge. What I mean by that, as an example, is being able to take an organization's own documentation of how their network is laid out, how their infrastructure is laid out, their policies and their procedures, and being able to combine that with industry best practice. So for example, in cybersecurity, we'll often look at network logs, intrusion detection logs, and other types of logs like firewalls. And if one doesn't have a knowledge base internally that can be searched and used to ascertain exactly the make and model of those devices, for example, it can be very difficult to write the kinds of correlation rules that are necessary to find a good indicator of compromise. And candidly, as people come in and out of the government, there's often a skills gap, right? And so having a intelligent assistant like Elastic's AI assistant for cybersecurity or observability gives one the ability to take that tribal knowledge that has been codified and documented and combine that with industry best practice. Things like the MITRE ATT&CK framework is a great example, where a less skilled analyst or a more junior analyst can say to the AI assistant, what are the things I'm not thinking of? Hey, I just saw this alert. What other indicators of compromise should I look for? Or hey, based on my organization's infrastructure, what additional data sources should I pull into a threat hunting exercise?
So Sean, sticking with the topic of robust search, how will robust search analytics platforms likely help agencies address growing nation-state and criminal cyber threats and better protect critical infrastructure?
Yeah, I think it's a great corollary question in the sense that as attack vectors get more and more complex, it's oftentimes the simplest things that are the indicator of compromise at first, right? Something like the CPU utilization of a laptop spiking can be an indicator, not that it's necessarily just run out of hard drive space, but that there's malware that's starting to compromise the integrity of the overall system. And so again, having that rich search infrastructure that can bring in endpoint information, network information, security monitoring information, and fuse that into a single operating picture is incredibly important, right? And most platforms don't have that capability. And so a search analytics platform gives one the robust infrastructure to be able to look at all those pillars, not as silos, but in a holistic view.
Sean, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.